Good morning, America. 2 a.m. San Diego, California, Coronado, California to be precise. We're at the Attic, little antique store on 10th and Orange, 1112 10th Street. Home of the last whiskey bar, final resting place of Jim Morrison, and home to the Crystal Ship podcast by yours truly, Elliot Rosewater, on the Kid Pixie Radio, the only nuclear-powered radio station on God's green earth. Today we're celebrating the day Jim Morrison was published in Spanish. So now it is in English, French, and Spanish. 3 of the main languages in the world. Our podcast goes all the way around the world. Next to this little curio shop, this little antique shop here. Perfect match. People come in to see antiques and they end up saying, wow, what's Morrison doing here? Well, he lives here now. He's been haunting me for so many years. I just said, well, you know what? We'll settle down together, him and me. So now it's me and Jim. I invite people in to raise a toast in the remembrance of a great rock and roll singer. He was pretty bloody good. He left us behind, a repository of poems and songs and ideas and futuristic thinking, which he was. Morrison was pretty ahead of his game. He was a cool cat. He had a few flaws. He fell down, he got up. He fell down again, he got up. And one day he didn't get up anymore. So we remember him as a poet, as a singer, as a tragic Hamlet-like figure. Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest, directly from Shakespeare. Morrison wrote, death makes angels of us all and gives us wings where once we had shoulders smooth as ravens' claws. So he took Blake, Shakespeare, and all the greats, and he kind of elaborated on them, made them a little more nuanced. Listen to this. Every night and every morn, some to misery are born. Some are born to sweet delight. Some are born to endless night. Jim Morrison? No. William Shakespeare? Yeah, William Shakespeare. Some are born to sweet delight. Morrison just took the old bard and put him to music. No one's ever done that. Well, I'm sure they have, but not like that. And he did that with lots of people. You just don't know it. He folded other people into his lyric and made it his own. So it's not just like stealing somebody's line, like Robbie Krieger stole a song called Spanish Caravan. That's what he named it, or Jim named it, but it was actually called Leyenda. It was the legend from a series called Sweet Asturias, Cantos de España, Songs of Spain, by Isaac Albeniz. And it's the most beautiful flamenco music, classical flamenco music you've ever heard. Robbie Krieger butchered it, and unbeknownst to Jim, Robbie penned it, and Jim thought it was his work, but it wasn't. He did an amateur version of it, and Morrison went to the grave not knowing. He wrote the beautiful lyrics around it. Andalusia, with fields for rain, I have to see you again and again. Take me, Spanish caravan, yes, I know you can. So Morrison wrote those cool lyrics on top of it. Krieger never admitted it. Finally, like about a year ago, oh, I took part of this song from my flamenco class. Bullshit. He took the whole thing, and what few people know is that with a little help from their friends, the Albanese family sued the Doors for copyright infringement and not, giving credit. And they settled out of court. How about that? You didn't know that, did you? So when you hear Spanish Caravan, don't think of Robbie Krieger. Think of a little man who took a great song and kind of butchered it. If you listen to the original next to Krieger's, people think, oh God, listen to this Krieger's flamenco. Bullshit. He was actually a mediocre guitarist. He just happened to have Jim Morrison wrapped around his Jim Morrison's lyrics, which inspired him to be better than average, which is actually the truth is Densmore and Krieger were average. And Manzarek wasn't much better. He just had that sound to that organ, that Vox, that Bach type church organ music that gave it a unique thing. And I didn't say he couldn't play, but he wasn't great. And neither were any of the Doors, except Jim was. So there you have it. And Jim and the Doors didn't go out together, in case you all didn't know that. In fact, the one time they did go, John Densmore went to Bonnie's Beanery and Robbie Krieger went. And that's the last time Densmore ever went out with Morrison, because Morrison took a billiard ball and threw it right through one of the mirrors. And they got banned out of there. So that was too oof, gosh, for Densmore. Now, Densmore and Krieger were devotees of the Maharishi Yogi, and they often were at meditation. So the juxtaposition of Morrison's wild, leather god, biker image against these two. He actually called them squares. He said they were so square, man. He used the word square. Back then, people would say, he's a square in the 50s. And that means you're just your corners are not rounded off, if you know what I'm saying. So there you have it. A little bit of tidbit, a little bit of info for you there. Al Graham, Crystal Ship Podcast. At the Last Whiskey Bar. $1 shots daily. That's bullshit. I'll have to raise that to 100. The final resting place of Jim Morrison. And there you have it.